So we had some bad news last week. Prince passed away. And, he was a huge influence for me musically when I was younger, all right? So I bought everything up to Love Sexy, every single album on Paisley Park. And, there was a kind of like a naivety in terms of how I was listening to his music in those days because I didn't understand anything about production techniques. So what I've been doing is I've been listening to some of the tracks that I used to listen to back in the day. And of course, I'm listening on monitors. I'm listening on Genelec 8030s. So I'm hearing the music in a totally different way. Not only because I can actually hear things ultra cleanly, I can hear every single detail, but it's actually because I understand some of the production techniques that he's using and also some of the effects. So what I wanted to do with you guys is to take a look at one of his songs, Pop Life, and just demonstrate to you something that I discovered when I was listening back. So I'm going to import the song and we're going to go to import audio file. So I've got it on my desktop here. Now, just going to do this first of all in normal stereo import. Okay, so we've got left and right channels in a single file. So that's happened here. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. I'm going to set up another audio track. And we do stuff a little bit different. I'm going to set up a mono track this time. And on here, I'm going to now go to File, Import, Audio File. And same track. This time, I'm going to go for a new file and split the channels. All right, so take a look at what happens. So different tracks. We've now got the left and the right parts of the song into separate audio files. Now, in order for this to sound correct, what I need to do is to pan one to the hard left and then the other to the hard right. So I'm going to show you something here. Let's listen to the original. Okay, and now let me solo these two. Okay, same section. So what happened was when I was listening, I turned off one of my speakers and I noticed that one of the vocals was sung in an incredibly late way. Now, it could be that he double tracked this. So he recorded the vocal twice and deliberately sung the timing in there and panned those two takes of the vocal, hard left and hard right, okay? That could have been how he did it. Perhaps he used an effects device to do so. So you got this thing like a slap back delay, a very, very short delay, just a few milliseconds to create this very quick echo. So there's a couple of ways that he could have done it, but have a listen, right? We're going to isolate these. And now, just so that you can hear this, I'm going to pan it centrally. So we've got essentially a mono file. Okay, so we're going to hear that in mono. I'm going to do the same with the other one. And listen to the difference, all right? Let's take this to the first verse. It's amazing because the female vocal is in time, yet his vocal is incredibly late, okay? So you can make up your own mind whether it's a separate performance or whether it's an effect. And it could even have been two takes sung at exactly the same time. And then on the tape machine, they could have slowed it down in terms of where it was, or even used editing to cut the tape and then create a timing difference between the two. So have a listen. Let's listen to the verse on the other channel. So you can hear there that he's on time. Just again, all right, have a listen back to that same section. And just really want to sum up again by showing you the original. And listen, if you've got headphones on, you're going to hear this very, very distinctly now. So the left is slower, the right is on time. It really does sound as if they're hard panned. And, like I said, I turned off my speakers individually. So I turned one off had a listen, then turned the other one off, whilst bringing the other one back on. And it was a real eye-opener. I'd never understood this. I never listened to it and acknowledged that the vocals were positioned like that and the timing was like that. So that was a real eye-opener for me listening back. And when I was listening to some other tunes, I recognized some effects that I've got to know really well. Things like the flanger. He used that so extensively. And, back in those days, this is before dance music, of course, some really futuristic effects, textures. And so for me, that was kind of put into my DNA from his music. And then something that I used in my music productions, all of these really futuristic textures. So I've got to say a huge thank you to Prince for the music, and I think everybody would be feeling the same. And he's such a huge loss, for him to be gone. And thank you for your music, Prince.